Today, we journey back to a time before the internet reshaped our lives. We explore human sexuality in that era. It's a story of connection, culture, and the human experience.
Hello and welcome to Gunset, a channel for intelligent and curious people like you. Before we proceed, let me tell you one thing. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It means a lot to me. And if you have already subscribed, tons of thanks for your support.
What is human sexuality? Human sexuality refers to the way people experience and express their sexual feelings, desires, and behaviors. It encompasses a broad range of aspects, including biological, psychological, social, and cultural factors. Historical context. Before the internet era, human sexuality was shaped by various social, cultural, and religious norms. In many societies, sexuality was seen as a taboo topic, and open discussions about sex were discouraged. Characteristics of human sexuality. Repression and taboo. Sexuality was often repressed, and people were discouraged from expressing their sexual desires openly. Gender roles. Traditional gender roles were prevalent, with men expected to be the initiators of sexual activity and women expected to be passive recipients. Heteronormativity. Heterosexuality was seen as the norm, and other sexual orientations were often stigmatized or criminalized. Limited access to information. People had limited access to information about sex, sexual health, and relationships, leading to a lack of understanding and misconceptions about human sexuality. Research and studies. A study by Alfred Kinsey in the 1940s and 1950s found that human sexuality is more diverse and complex than previously thought. Kinsey, 1948, Kinsey, 1953. The work of Masters and Johnson in the 1960s and 1970s helped to understand human sexual response and behavior. Masters and Johnson, 1966. Conclusion. In summary, human sexuality before the internet era was characterized by repression, traditional gender roles, heteronormativity, and limited access to information. However, research and studies by pioneers like Alfred Kinsey and Masters and Johnson helped to shed light on the complexities of human sexuality. Now let's break it down for a good understanding. The context of pre-internet sexuality. Before the digital age, sexuality was more private. Information about sex flowed slowly. People learned through books, conversations, and lived experience. This limited access fostered a sense of mystery. The role of literature. Books played a crucial role in shaping understanding. In the 1970s, The Joy of Sex, by Alex Comfort was groundbreaking. It provided frank discussions and illustrations. Comfort aimed to normalize conversations around sex. Similarly, the works of Ann Hooper brought intimacy and pleasure to the forefront. These texts helped people feel more informed but still left many questions unanswered. The influence of media. Media portrayed sexuality in ways that influenced public perception. Movies and magazines, like Playboy, offered glimpses of intimacy. Yet, they often depicted idealized scenarios. This created standards that were hard to achieve. Film noir and romantic comedies of the era presented sexuality as a blend of intrigue and humor. Characters danced around desire, often with societal repercussions. Education and knowledge. Sex education varied significantly from place to place. In some schools, sex education was almost non-existent. The birds and bees conversation was often awkward and limited. In contrast, researchers like Dr. Mary Calderon advocated for comprehensive sex education in the 1960s. She believed that knowledge would empower individuals, especially women. The role of relationships. Relationships were central to understanding sexuality. Courtship often involved long, intricate rituals. Families and communities had a strong influence. People often married young, leading to intimacy intertwined with love. Romantic relationships required patience and commitment. Dating was often more formal than today. The influence of culture. Cultural norms played a significant role in shaping sexual attitudes. In some cultures, sexuality was celebrated as a natural part of life. Festivals and rituals embraced it openly. In others, it remained cloaked in shame. Taboos silenced many, leading to hidden desires and unspoken truths. The search for connection. People sought connection in various ways. Personal ads in newspapers became popular for those looking for love. The effort required to connect was tangible. Phone calls were the primary means of communication. Long conversations helped people build intimacy. The impact of social norms. Social norms significantly influenced sexual behavior. Many felt pressure to conform to societal expectations. This led to a facade for some, hiding true desires. For example, the stigma around premarital sex often led to secrecy and shame. Gender roles and expectations. Gender roles were more rigid during this time. Men were often expected to be assertive and take the lead. This reinforced certain power dynamics in relationships. Women, conversely, were often seen as passive or submissive. This shaped interactions and expectations in both dating and marriage. The sexual revolution. The sexual revolution of the 1960s began to shift perspectives dramatically. This era challenged traditional norms. People began to advocate for sexual freedom and exploration. Authors like Sheer Height played a pivotal role. Her book, The Height Report, published in 1976, examined female sexuality and desires. It sparked discussions about female pleasure and autonomy. The impact of social movements. Social movements in the 1960s and 1970s also influenced sexuality. The feminist movement advocated for women's rights, including sexual liberation. LGBTQ+ rights began to gain visibility. The Stonewall riots of 1969 marked a turning point, encouraging openness about diverse sexual orientations. The legacy of pre-internet sexuality. The legacy of this era remains impactful today. Many still hold on to the values and lessons learned during this time. The foundation laid before the internet paved the way for future discussions about sexuality. Reflection on change. As we reflect on this past, we see complexity. Human sexuality is not static, it evolves with society. Today, the internet provides vast information, yet it can complicate understanding. Now the internet changed everything. Yet, the foundations of our sexual understanding were built long ago. Recognizing the past helps us navigate the present and future of sexuality. Think about the gender roles and expectations again. Gender roles were more rigid during this time, that means pre-internet age. Why? Because men were often expected to be assertive and take the lead. This reinforced certain power dynamics in relationships, and women, conversely, were often seen as passive or submissive. This shaped interactions and expectations in both dating and marriage. But internet opens the floodgate and people from backwards country know about the Western, liberated influence, and it changes the whole picture. We will cover this interesting and fascinating topic of post-internet sexuality in the next video. So don't miss that video. Closing thoughts. Thank you for joining this journey through time. If you found this exploration enlightening, please like and subscribe for more content. Let's continue to learn and grow together. If you liked the video, please hit the bell icon to get notified, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep watching Wooden Slate. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye, take care and stay safe.